Hello to all my college football fanatics. Buckeye Vinny is back, but he's doing this video this time in my wife Donna's kitchen. So, my friends, let's get this video started and point blank, okay, this video is going to be strictly about the planting of Michigan's flag in the middle of the Buckeyes, Big O, at the 50-yard line. And a lot of scrutiny has been going on both sides. You know, Michigan started it, Buckeyes started it. You know, my friends, bottom line, you know, I come from the old-fashioned school. Take care of business on the field. And do not give another team any reason to do what they wanted to do. So bottom line, everybody knows Buckeye Vinny here, okay? I'm a diehard Buckeye fan. But if we just would have taken care of business, won the game, okay, the Michigan players wouldn't have planted their flag because they would have had no reason to. Why? Because the Buckeyes would have won the game. But we failed to take care of business in our home stadium, the Horseshoe. And I do remember actually reading, I was only 4 years old, but in 1973, Woody Hayes instructed his team, look it up, to tear down the Michigan Go Blue banner sign before the game. Now, this was before the game, okay, where the players ran out of the tunnel, and I watched a video of it once again in 1973. That game finished in a classic 10-10 tie. The Buckeyes that year finished 10-0-1. Michigan that year finished 10-0-1. But my friends, like I said, this was in 1973 that Woody Hayes once again instructed his team to tear down the Go Blue banner. So you're tearing down the Go Blue banner, or you're planting your Michigan flag in the middle of the field. To me, there's no difference. Okay, there's no difference whatsoever. Now, I get that emotions were high during and obviously after this game. You know, as a fan, emotions were high with me. That's why I did the video outside. So I could only imagine how the emotions were with the players and the coaches. I mean, come on, my friends. Players got pepper sprayed, supposedly, for what I read. And not just one side, but both teams got pepper sprayed, okay? You know, and I'm just going to be honest, I didn't see the aftermath because when Michigan was lining up in victory formation where you take the knee and the game's over, I immediately went outside on the back deck to start a video about Buckeyes losing 13-10. So it wasn't until after I came back in that my wife and son was telling me about what had happened. And then I was watching the replay of the fight. So, you know, for me, it comes down to this. You know, protect your home stadium and your home turf, yes. But it gets very simple. Win the game you're supposed to win, and do not give your opponent any reason to do what they did. Now, you know, I just got to mention them. Now, I know Buckeye splendid superstar, all Big Ten, Jack Sawyer, defensive end. His emotions were running very high. He had that interception in the game. He had various tackles in that game. I believe he even had a quarterback sack. For me, Jack Sawyer played a whale of a game, without a doubt. The only bad thing was, after the game, he was the one that was partaking in the brawl. You know, a big reason why it was him that was protecting his turf and, you know, got the whole entourage started by ripping the flag out of the Michigan players' hands. Now, you know, once again, 1973, Woody Hayes instructed his team to tear down the Michigan's Go Blue banner. Now, you know, I'm not saying that was right. I'm not saying what Michigan did with the flag was right. But, you know, bottom line, teams and opponents, and most of all, big-time rivalries have their own idea and tradition what they want to do. And my friends, this started even back in high school, even where I went to. Okay? My mascot was the Eagles. And my big rival hung an eagle and a bird on the goalpost. True story. Before the game started. Obviously not after the game, but leading up to the big rival game on a Friday night, it was prior to that. So, like I said, there's a lot of traditions that rivalries do, big-time rivalry game. And, you know, bottom line, the emotions ran high. Coming into this game, let's be honest, Buckeyes were heavily favored to take down the Michigan Wolverines, and they failed to do so. I believe Buckeyes were favored by something like 20.5 or 21-point spread, and they lost by 3 at their home stadium, the Horseshoe. So, my friends, could you say that the Buckeyes players felt a little embarrassed? Yeah, I'm sure. Especially when everybody was picking Ohio State to win this game. Me included, obviously. But like I said, my friends, bottom line, you know, and let's be honest, we're dealing with anywhere from 18 to 21-year-olds, okay, that make no excuses. Most of these, their brain's not even functioning yet, okay, like it should be. 18 to 21-year-olds, some 22, whatever. But, yeah, you know, they're not, again, make no excuses. They're not even fully developed yet up here. And then you factor in the emotion of a game, and then you factor in a big-time rival of the game. So, you know, bottom line, a lot of people ask me what did I think about it. And I did chat with a few with my YouTube channel in the last video I did. And I got a lot of the Michigan fans were very graceful in saying that they were embarrassed on how their team acted by starting it, attempting to want to plant the flag, and they were very humble, saying that if they wouldn't have done that with their players, wanting to plant the flag in the Big O at the 50, that chances are none of this would have happened. You know, let's be honest. You know, they dislike us, we dislike them. It's a hated rivalry, okay? But I will say that the rivalry and the tradition is back. And I mean back in play big time. Like it was back in the 70s and back in the 80s and back in the 90s. You know, at one time, the Buckeyes had something like a 17-4 record against Michigan. Well, obviously, that has stopped. But, you know, under Jimmy Tressel, Buckeyes and Coach Tressel, I love that coach, was 9-1 against Michigan. Coach Urban Meyer, in his 7-year stint as the Buckeyes head coach, 7-0 against Michigan. And I got to throw this out. I like this coach. He coached in the 80s, and that was none other than late and great Earl Bruce. Now, in case some didn't know, Earl Bruce had a winning record against Michigan, and they let him go. Earl Bruce was 5-4 versus Michigan. But I believe the last game of the season of his career as the Buckeyes coach, his last year coaching the Buckeyes, he lost to Michigan, and they ended up getting rid of him. So, if I'm Ryan Day, I'm going to be a little nervous. Here's Earl Bruce that was 5-4, technically a winning record against Michigan, and they canned him. Here's Ryan Day, 1-4 versus Michigan. So it's going to be very interesting what plays down. But bottom line, my friends, this was purely a video on planting of the Michigan flag after the game. It is what it is. Bottom line, Michigan won 13-10. Their emotions were high. The Buckeyes players' emotions, let's be honest, they were pissed off, okay, because they let their fans down. They let their fans down, their family down, whatever, okay? And once again, when you know you're very heavily favored to beat a team, all the pressure was on the Buckeyes, not on Michigan. That's why Michigan looked very loose in this game, and the Buckeyes looked tight. And that's a lot of the, on YouTube, a lot of the comments that I was receiving about how tight, Buckeye Vinny, that your team looked. And it's true. They played very tight. Michigan, they played loose. They had nothing to lose. No one expected Michigan to even keep this game close, let alone win this game 13-10. So, my friends, it is what it is. Buckeyes, once again, losing to Michigan 13-10. The good news for the Ohio State Buckeyes and all Buckeye Nation is that, bottom line, we will qualify in the top 12 college football playoffs format in 2024 for the up-and-coming playoff system. So I think the Buckeyes, they started this game at number 2. And after the loss, I believe I heard the Buckeyes went to something like 8. Okay? So obviously, we will not get a first-round bye. Okay? But bottom line, the Buckeyes will still make the playoffs at 10-2. My friends, if you are new to my channel, thank you for tuning in. Buckeye Vinny here welcomes you all. Please click on the subscribe button. If you like this video, please click on the like button. And like always, please comment down below. Please check out Super Thanks, new to my program. And bottom line, I hope everyone has enjoyed so far my sports content of Michigan and Ohio State rivalry and planting of the flag. Bottom line, my friends, peace out. God bless. That's all Buckeye Vinny has for tonight. I am out of here.